Hello there, guys. Welcome back to another one. Guys. I'm sorry that I'm just talking about the Champions League semi-finals for the first game, PSG versus Bayern Munich. But guys, I'm still hyped as the way I was when the game finished. Why? Because I watched another one yesterday, and watching the game of yesterday, I just made me realize that football is played in different ways. Now. Football is the best sport in the world. Like, there is nothing anybody is telling me, there is nothing I'm hearing from any other person. Football, soccer as the Americans will call it, is the best sport in the world. Guys, let's start with the banger game. Let's start with the banger game. First of all, we saw a game of this caliber, Bayern Munich versus PSG. I told you guys, I said, guys, if there is any match you are going to watch, it has to be the PSG versus Bayern Munich game. I said it to you guys. I said, girls, boys, young, old, feminine, non-feminine, of any race, of any gender, of any bilateral thingy. You guys had to watch this game on Tuesday. Bar none, it was the best game this season. Actually, this was the best football game season ever. Let's just jump into right this game. Why did I say it was the best game? I called out some guys. I said there are some guys that you guys had to watch out for. Kvara, Kane, Musiala, Due, Vitina, Joao Neves, and Olise. I mentioned actually some 4 players majorly. This game, I need to just explain to you guys that this game was the game of the ages. These are the type of games that 5 years to come, 3 years to come, if Bayern Munich or PSG win the Champions League, you begin to say that semi-final was a semi-final to be proud of. Were you guys there? 5-4 Bayern Munich versus PSG. Were you guys there? To start with, or to continue with, where the PSG fans or where the PSG people place the Bayern Munich fans is absolutely outrageous. It's absolutely. I wish I could just find a video or a picture. I'll show you guys where the Bayern Munich fans were. But to take nothing away from these guys, they were still loud in the game. Very, very loud. Like, that is what fandom is. These guys are fanatics of their club. Even though they were in the far corner, they were in the upper corners, you could still hear the Bayern Munich chant. You could still hear the fans chanting. They were chanting. And I'm saying right now that Parc de Prince is beginning to become the next Santiago Bernabeu. Why did I say so? Santiago Bernabeu, in the ages of when Real Madrid used to win a lot of Champions League, and they are still winning. But when they were winning their Champions League and they are the ones with the most Champions League 15, you would go there, you feel pressured. Even this season, when Man City went there, you could see some Man City players who are just that was their first Champions League game, like the Semenyo, like the Maguire. You see them, they fell under the pressure. But that's what I'm talking about. The Parc de Prince, if you see the PSG ultras, the fans ultras, all of these guys, they were absolutely outrageous. I'm telling you, pulling off shirts, doing everything. This is something I actually want to experience. I want to experience being in the stadium when high-pressured games like this are being played. It was beautiful. Beautiful game. End-to-end game. They did not even care about defense, even though their defender was defending. Upamecano was absolutely beautiful. Marquinhos was there. Pacho was there. Nuno Mendes. Olise had Nuno Mendes on a string. He made Nuno Mendes feel like, oh, Nuno, is it that you get an hamstring today, or you are probably going to go home injured, or you are going to get a cramp? Like, Olise was just dribbling this guy, even though Nuno Mendes also had his own patch of the game where he locked in Olise. Hakimi had free space with Anthony Davis. Alfonso Davis. He had like a free page. Davis was just going forward. Like, this game is one of the game that I would explain to you guys that if you want to understand how to make fullbacks attack, watch these games. Stanisic was very poor, but I'm not going to take anything from what happened in the game. It was very poor. To me, it was like the worst player on the bench. Sorry, I said on the bench. In the pitch. Even though they give Neuer as the worst player at 4.1, yeah, the reason was because of some corner kicks. I felt for the João Neves goal, I felt that Neuer could have got his hand on it. But that's not what I'm talking about. Stanisic was the worst player on the pitch. Absolutely the worst player. I don't understand why Lima did not start. But I've said it, I don't want to take anything from the game. He did not put in the performance that was needed to at least hold a Kvaratskhelia or to hold a player like Zaire Emery or Vitinha or a Dembele. I don't understand what he decided to do the other that on Tuesday in the night. He did not turn up. He did not turn up. Particularly for me, he did not turn up. And Kvara, I told you guys that Kvaratskhelia, okay, is the world best left winger at the moment. He is the world best left winger at the moment. The 2 goals he scored yesterday, on Tuesday on the night of the Champions League, beautiful goals, beautiful, wonderful goals. Like I'm telling you, he made Stanisic dance. He made Stanisic dance. He made him move, and then he just kept the ball into the net, and then Neuer could not get his hand on it. Even though at the beginning of the game, Dembele scored the shot, I was like, yeah, you are a Ballon d'Or player. I'm expecting better from you in that finish. You should have had an hat-trick. But he still did his best. He did not fall under pressure. Like, these players, what they did that night was to show that I am a big player. I don't care wherever I'm playing. I don't care whatever pressure you guys are doing to me, what the fans are doing. I don't even care what my own fans are doing to me or what they are not doing. I'm showing my quality tonight. I am showing my quality. And take it from me, 4 wingers. Actually, we can say 5. We can say 5 wingers were on the pitch yesterday. 5 wingers were on the pitch. I'm actually supposed to be standing up, but no energy. But 5 wingers were on the pitch yesterday. 5 wingers. And the 5 of them showed why they are world-class players. Like, I'm saying 5. Olise, Kvara, Dembele, who is playing as a false 9, Doué, and Luis Diaz. These guys played like they are in the big team. And it just baffles me that after this Champions League game, I'm going to go back to watching number 49. If you guys don't know who number 49 is, it's Garnacho. I'm going to go back to watching that guy. I'm also watching number 7, Pedro Neto. But I'm not going to ruin my taste buds and I'm not going to ruin my earrings because I don't want to hear the sounds of those. The midfield that played against PSG Bayern Munich, if we begin to compare that midfield to the midfield of this game, now, if we compare this midfield, just take a look, take a glance, Zaire, Vitinha, Neves, Musiala, Kimmich, Pavlovic, comparing it to this midfield I played yesterday, snooze fest. Yesterday's game was a snooze fest. It decided to become what? A penalty derby, because these 2 teams could not score a particular goal without penalty. Now, let me just take you guys to the, I think is to the facts. That's to the stats. Let me show you guys the stats. Expected goals went to Atletico Madrid side. Expected goals 2.21, 1.5. That's basically almost the same thing. Total shots 18-11, almost the same thing. Big chances 3-2, almost the same thing. If we go further, big chances missed 2-1, almost the same thing. Accurate passes, almost the same thing. Fouls committed, almost the same thing. Well, corners was different. Corners were different. And yesterday was a snooze fest. I kept on saying to the guys I was watching the game with, I was like, guys, if you guys watched the game of yesterday, you will understand that yesterday's game, if you guys watched the game of Bayern Munich PSG, you understand that yesterday's game was mediocre. Like, it was mediocre. Like, I'm telling you that yesterday they could not finish. Strikers were looking for penalties. All of them were looking for free kick, set pieces and stuff like that. When from PSG versus Bayern Munich, we saw beautiful game, beautiful game, and this is what we expect in the Champions League. When we want to watch Champions League game, games like games like this, games like this is what we want to watch. That is what we want to watch, and that is what I want you guys to that's what I want to explain to you guys. I don't want to come and begin to tell you guys, oh, Saka, the Madueke. The first half of yesterday's game was outrageous. Like, for the Arsenal versus Atletico game, shit. Second half, they tried to jeopardize. Sorry, I said jeopardize. They tried to, salvage the game and try to make the game more fun. People started attacking. They wanted to get the league going to the next leg. But let me just quickly explain about this game, first half and second half, briefly. First half, beautiful. PSG went with the lead. It was a 3-2 first half. 3-2 first half, we're like, this game has to end with either a 7-7 or 8 something. Like, more goals have to come in. And then first half, I was like, bro, I'm not satisfied. I've been watching shit games. Just imagine you've been eating big biscuits Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, Nigerians will understand. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, these are party times. And then you go to a party, or you have a party at home, or you are eating buffet at home, banquet, like big food and stuff like that at home. And then they're giving you the food is very delicious, obviously, very delicious. But then they're giving you little munchets that say, okay, eat this and go and sleep. No, give me more. Give me more. I want more. So in the first half, I was like, this game is interesting. I don't want you to finish. I don't want you to end. Just continue. And then, but the first half ended, I was like, okay, I needed more. Second half started. And then I was like, I've had enough. Second half started, I said, I've had enough. PSG decided to score 5-2. It decided to be 5-2. Kvara and João Neves goal, I think. Let me get myself to get. No. Kvara and Dembele scored in the second half. At this point, it was 5-2. I said, guys, I've had enough. Take in mind, I was not supporting anything. I was not supporting any of these two teams. I wanted a good game, and they gave it to me. Second half, I said, I've had enough. Then Upamecano scored an header. I was like, game on. I was eating live food, and I was eating another live food, and I was just excited, bro. I was excited. This game was game of the ages. Upamecano scored a goal, header, flicked it over, and then I was like, beautiful. Then we're like, PSG, you need to maybe do something, because Bayern Munich is getting back into the game. Harry Kane gave a nice assist to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz just controlled it, by the way. I used to say Luis Diaz is shit. I'm sorry, I take my hands up. The guy is not shit. He's a good player. He's one of the best players in the world. I'm sorry. And he controlled it. That match made me understand that sorry, I should not say it like that. Footballs listen to players' legs. So I don't begin to say balls. A ball, football match for Russians, ball, listen to players' legs. Why some people that I watch in my own team listen to the ball? That game made me understand that ball listen to wingers' legs, and not wingers listening to balls. I don't know how that sounded, but I'm sorry, guys. That game was absolutely beautiful, guys. And then Luis Diaz scored. It was 5-4. The game ended 5-4. And I was like, I cannot wait for next week. But, guys, Just as you were there and I was there and we were all there, we are going to be there next week. We are going to be there next week. It looks like to me Atletico Madrid and Arsenal. I don't know what's the upper leg. Does Atletico have the upper leg? Does Arsenal have the upper leg? I don't know, because that game of yesterday was barren, was sleepy. I was itching. I was playing Subway Surf while the game was on. I was even praying for ads to pop up with the YouTube I was also watching and stuff like that. But I don't know what's the upper leg. PSG Bayern Munich also. I also don't know what's the upper leg. But we are going to be there. At least for next week, the first game is Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal, and the next is going to be PSG versus Bayern. So they are going to give us the snooze first before they are going to give us the awakeners. So guys, see you guys in the next one. Make sure you're always there. I'm going to be there. We're all going to be there. And if you're not, I'll be there to break it down. And if I'm not going to break it down, I'm going to be there to give you guys the emotions. Stick out, watch out, guys. See you guys in the next one. Still of the Chelsea.